issue of command here comes in. That you are a senior, but you are begging the OCS to give you a vehicle. It doesn't tag away. So we would request that at least every OSPD, every OCS has a vehicle. So we cannot fail to recognize that the government did a very wonderful job by leasing vehicles for the police. Previously, we were even badly off, but that program somehow has its challenges. That when a vehicle gets worn out or wears off, it is returned and then we are given a new one. That program was there. But now there are no additional vehicles. It is the ones that were leased initially, they are the ones that are exchanged when the program. So we would request that the program be enhanced, or we still have some departmental vehicles bought for the police to supplement those leased ones. The issue of funding of the AIE has been talked about. Actually, it has been a challenge to us. So the DIG here knows we are supposed to do inspections of our stations. You go inspect a station, the officers there give you their challenges. We don't have a table, we don't have this. You get sorry through that you can't do anything. Then you plan for another inspection. You go inspecting the same premises, having done nothing. In fact, at times the youngs ask us, what are you coming to do now? You were here last time and you have not done much. So, and you remember, these officers look at us as their fathers. So they expect that when they tell you something, you will do something before you come the next time. Now you go next time having done nothing. So we would request that funding to be improved, sir. The same with infrastructure. Sir, when there was that merger or transfer of some of the AP posts to the Kenya Police Service, they were gazetted, I would say, sorry, without proper groundwork check. You find a police post has been named to be a police station and it sits on the chief's land. Actually, it is like the chief is housing that police station. So even when it comes to, you want to do a name, do you call it a chief's office or a police station? And then you find that place has just 2 officers. That has been said. We would request that the government, if it is acquiring land, let us have identifiable land. This is for police development, this is for the chief, or even if they have to be together, then let it be definite so that we are able to we work together, but when it comes to infrastructure, we know what the chief needs is what may not be necessarily what the police will need. The issue of network has also been mentioned. Sir, you know we are supposed to do returns and all that communication. Actually, these officers depend, the communication in the surface, mostly in the field, now we are depending on mobile phones. Personal mobile phones of officers. So if those camps, the communication could be enhanced, that we have a proper network, the issue of e-communication in our posts is not there because there is no network, and even the facilities like the computers and all that. And I think it goes back to funding, including equipment, uniforms, documentation, and the rest. To move away from that, sir, we also wish to appreciate the government's policy on multi-agency approach to issues. We've been working very well with other team players, more so the GAO, in fighting crime. But at times, sir, now I'll talk as police, that we have a challenge in this one. That we plan operations, we conduct an operation, and maybe due to some interference, not to mention from who, you find it may bring up issues. I don't know why most of the time the bulk stuff stops with the police. Unakuta mara mingi komanda ndiye anafinyiriwa pale, ile timu ingine inabaki. We would request where an operation has been done by a team, let it be owned by that team as a group. We have seen it, and even we have seen courts coming up with an issue called command responsibility. Bwana CS, this one has demoralized our officers, to be honest, because as a commander, you find that you have briefed your officers, you have deployed them properly, but somehow a rogue officer will go out there and commit an offense. Nimebrief watu wameenda bank card wamefanya vitu. Then an officer maybe has shot somebody there kimakosa akaua. Why should that commander be taken to court because of an individual action by a rogue officer? I think that issue of command responsibility should be looked into, and if there is a law regarding that, it be rectified so that you don't blame or sacrifice an officer for work or an omission done by a different person. So when it comes to issue of deployment, I started by saying I don't know how to introduce myself because we have noted, we work in one government, so there should not appear to be different applications. That we create a sub-county, immediately a DCC is posted, other officers are posted, but you find the OSPD keeps running the two sub-counties. Like now, I've noted in my area I have two. So when the DCC Chuka North wants to have a meeting, he'll expect me to be there. When the DCC Chuka South organizes a meeting, I'll have to be there. So somehow you may be judged to be inefficient that you didn't attend a meeting, kumbe ulikuwa engaged pande ingine. So let us have deployment being done equally. If it is a new sub-county, kila ofisi ifunguliwe kwa hiyo sub-county. So that there is that issue of, like here in Tharaka, to be specific, we have 3 sub-counties that do not have OSPDs. And yet I've noted we have the DCCs. We should move together. The issue of illicit brews, we are working together, and I can say we are working very well. But like as somebody else here has mentioned, sir, we have some challenges in court. And I think even some of these things need to be harmonized at the policy level or somewhere with the law. You find the courts have a policy to decongest prisons. The same with the prisons. Wanasema wanataka kupunguza watu. So court naye so haitafunga watu waende jela. You find even at the times the court asks somebody, unaweza kulipa fine kapi, so that he does not go to prison. So that person pays a small fine, anarudi kwa kijiji and continues with the business. So naona hapo kuna contradiction kwamba the court and the prison want to decongest, sisi tunangangana watu. So I think we should work towards the same goal. So hardship allowance has been talked about. We have areas where other departments are paid hardship allowance, whereas the police is left out. I think that also needed to be looked into. So the issue of use of firearms by police officers. I would first wish to appreciate you, sir. I think you've been the most vocal officer or government officer to start with the police on this one. And members, I would wish to be clear here. No police officer leaves his house to go and shoot somebody. In fact, we don't have a policy on shooting anybody. But situations arise where we are forced to use a firearm. We have seen the other day an officer walking with an arrow on his head. Now, sometimes we wonder, then how was this police officer supposed to react? So I think much as we don't encourage misuse of firearms, but where officers have used firearms justifiably, they need to be defended. Because then one may ask, why do we have the firearms? Yeah? We don't go out to kill anybody, but if it means defending your life, then that is why we have those firearms. I think I would not wish to repeat what has been said, but I also wish to appreciate the cooperation we have been having from the members of public. In fact, the Tharaka Nithi County, crime has gone down through the assistance of members of public. We normally get information and we act on it, and we don't have many crimes to report, save for where you find where an officer has worked diligently. Now criminals wanatafuta network yao kutane jina ya mtu. We have the Mulika Forum. At times it is misused by dishonest people, Wakiona yule askari mkali ama chifu mkali, wanaanza kumwandika maneno hapo. We need also to regulate such forums that before taking action, due diligence is done and investigation done to ensure that we don't punish our officers unnecessarily and hence demoralizing others. Otherwise, I don't want to be repetitive. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you for being our minister. Thank you, sir.
Asante sana OCPD. Bas, wacha nimwite representative of the DCCs. Na wakati DCC anakuja, nataka nipeane nafasi 5 kwa members of the public. In the first phase, number 1 wewe, 2, sema 1. Yule wa nyuma, wewe ni namba 2, wewe ni namba 3, namba 4, namba 5. Alafu tutarudia ngine.
Thank you, sir. Our chief guests, the CS for Interior and National Administration, fellow participants, all protocols observed, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Mine will be brief. First of all, I want to thank you, sir, for having found time to come to be with us today. Indeed, this Usalama, Jukwaa la Usalama is an innovation in the way we do business in administration. So thank you so much for this initiative and feel welcome again to Tharaka Nithi. From where we sit as DCCs, as we are the overall coordinators of the national government functions in the sub-counties, and therefore we have the bird eye view of all things that are all the manner in which things are happening in the sub-counties. Our responsibility is broad as we coordinate to ensure that the government programs, policies, and projects are implemented as per expectation, to ensure that we help the government and the president deliver the promises that he gave to the people. We have been at the forefront implementing those policies and programs. And like my senior, the CC had said that morning, we have been at the forefront, including in issues to do with SHA. I can attest that we have been able to sensitize and mobilize people for registration, and we are doing well as a county. We've been working also in the areas of climate change, and we have been coordinating the issues of tree growing. And I can report that every other first Friday of the month, the chief through the Climate Action Day have been planting trees, and we have been giving reports to that effect. We have been monitoring projects and coordinated to ensure that they are implemented in a manner that is smooth, to ensure that we address the conflicts that arise and also address the issues that may impede the implementation of those projects, so that timeline is kept and also they're implemented within the set budget line. Otherwise, that would otherwise have been affected by the delays. We continue to support every other government department, like it is our duty to do in matters of coordination. Therefore, sir, as the coordinators of the national government at that level, we can assure you that we are up to task and we are much more than ready to continue to deploy ourselves to service delivery in the sub-county to ensure the county is well managed in terms of management of public affairs. I'm sure we are talking about challenges. However, in administration, us as DCCs and as leaders, of the team leaders, sometimes we are constrained on raising challenges in public. However, because you are the main audience, we are encouraged to say something. So I'm talking to my colleagues there on the ground, and we are looking at the resources provided. We won't say that it's not adequate, but we would appreciate if it is enhanced. The reason being that the duties that we do our mandate is so broad that sometimes we carry the responsibilities of other departments on our heads. And the much we get, or do I say the little that we get, sometimes is not enough. So in the financial management, they say that finance will fall function. But then sometimes when we are coordinating, sometimes the interior resources are the ones that are being used to take care of other departments' operations, which should not be the case. If it should be the case, therefore, then we need to have enhancement of our allocation. Some of my colleagues here, also they have reminded me that they don't have offices. We appreciate that the area members of parliament are supporting us in office accommodation, but we also request that if the ministry at its own level can put a budget, it could be there, but it may not be adequate, if you can bid for more resources so that we also supplement what the members of parliament are doing through the national government, CDF, and we'll appreciate. Us also who have some offices, some of them may require not some routine maintenance, so we would also request that resources for maintenance of these offices also are provided or enhanced. I'm also reminded that we are operating under the digital world, and the equipment that we have in our offices is almost obsolete. Some of them were given when these sub-counties were being initiated in 2009, and they have not been replaced. And in terms of technology, we know they may be obsolete, and therefore we require maybe replacement. It is an issue that may cut across the country. It may not be the Tharaka Nithi issue. So from your desk, I think you can handle it from that level, sir. On issues of transport, we are glad that some of us have transport through the leased vehicles, but a number of DCCs, like there are new ones, and even there is one from Mozambique, they don't have. So if it's possible, if resources allows, please kindly take up that matter so that the DCCs travel a lot within the sub-county, coordinating all these functions. And also there is also something that we call the image of the government. So how do we want to see a DCC on a border attending to a government function or responding to an issue? It doesn't give a really good image of the government. And we are the face of the government. In areas of accommodation, previously we were lucky to have accommodation almost in every other district then, and most of the sub-counties do have. But nowadays we don't have in many areas, and we are forced to rent in other awkward places sometimes. And you know our work, sometimes we make many friends, but I think we also have some few enemies that we may require to be accommodated in a place that we feel a bit safe. On the issues of uniforms, generally, we are very smart, even if you look at us, but we still have a challenge in management. Sometimes we go to Nairobi, we don't get them in stock in good time. We don't know whether it's resources issues again, or it's management issues again. We want to work closely with the APS. We don't want to say we want to have a dedicated office for that matter, but if it can be streamlined, I think we would appreciate so much, sir. On the issue of hardship allowance, the Tharaka Nithi is not the hardship area, all of it, because some of us work in the highlights. But my colleagues from the lower side of the Tharaka Nithi feel that they are discriminated against, and the other candidates of the national government officers, because like the judiciary and the teachers are getting hardship allowance. So that justice looks like it's being denied to some of these candidates of officers. So we need harmonization in that respect. I may talk about the issues of illicit blues. I think this is an area, sir, we have taken, a matter that we have taken up with a seal, noting that there is a directive from the president, and it's a matter that we are fairly well seized of, and we are working together as a multi-agency team, including the NPS, including our village elders, the girls, and we are lucky that Tharaka Nithi County, we work with the county government very well. We do have those teams together. One of the challenges that we have is that many times we arrest, in the risk of repeating myself, but the challenges could be sometimes we present them before court, the suspect before court, but they are released on very lenient fines. And that does not only demoralize, but it also gives the brewers more impetus to continue brewing. While at it again, our chiefs on the ground, whenever they are on those operations, they are those hardcore brewers. They are almost hardcore criminals to some extent. And therefore the dangers in which we get into, our officers get into, are quite grave. And some people also can be very over litigious here. A small thing, she may end up in court. So what am I saying here? I think we need some strong legal representation arrangement so that whenever we fall into those legal challenges, our matters are addressed as fast, and we feel that justice is being done. Because whenever we fall into those problems, we are doing it when we are on duty. And therefore, we need much more support from your office by way of representation. The age is there. However, sometimes because the officers operate across counties, they may be overstretched and they may not be present or there for us in the time of our need. So a dedicated legal team or arrangement from your office would be better or more efficient for that purpose. I think I've said much. I beg maybe to stop there, unless my colleagues can add something. But sir, I appreciate so much your coming here and this forum. We want to meet you again in the near future, in a lot of these forums, in this Tharaka Nithi County or wherever we be in our duty. Thank you so much.
Asante sana DCC Mashira. Bas, tunataka sasa kuingia kwa community leaders. Na mimi nataka niweke rules hapa. We are many, tuko wengi. Na tutafanya first round kwanza, watu watano. Wale ambao nilikuwa nimechakua. Now what we are going to do is this. DJ, wewe utakuwa ukikata, mtu akimaliza daga yake 2, wewe unakata, sawa? Anaenda kukaa chini. Rule ya pili, wacha salutation mingi. Keti. Wacha salutation mingi. Ukifika hapa, wewe sema waziri, niko na haya mambo matatu. Sema tu matatu, peke yake. Usiseme waziri, member of parliament, utamaliza daga yako 2. So wewe fika hapa, useme waziri, niko na hayo matatu. 1, 2, 3. Daga yako 2 kisha, tunakata wewe. Haya, ya 3. Tusirudie yale ambayo yameongelelewa. Sawa sawa? Tumesikizana? Bas, wacha nianze na huyu bwana, alafu number 2, number 3 mkuja hapa. Wanaweza kuongea kutoka pale.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Dr. Faustin Muchoi. Waziri, niko na mambo mawili. I'm a resident of Tharaka North Sub-County. This is where the OCS Makutano comes from. It is the sub-county where the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya comes from. It is the sub-county where the Member of Parliament, Honorable Gigi, comes from. It is the sub-county where the Senator Tharaka Nithi County comes from. And it is the sub-county where the sub-county police headquarters has been operating from Tharaka South since independence, and specifically since I was born. It is the area that has faced frequent banditry, and it is my request that today, through the sub-county commandants, that you may authorize that police headquarters to relocate to its sub-county for effective security measures. Number two, I'm the Director Quality Assurance, Tharaka University, and the chair of the Security Committee. The university population is growing at a high rate, and the growth of the population is coming with the growth of crimes. The university currently has no police post, and it is my humble request on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of Tharaka University, Professor Kinyo Murkomen, that post. Thank you.
Thank you. The CS for Interior, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, all leaders present, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lanik Mawila Komenya. I come from Mara sub-county, and I had a number of issues to raise, but 90% has been raised. Just two of them, Bwana CS, quick ones. Number one is operationalization of new administrative units. On 14th February 2024, the then CS for Interior, His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki, announced new administrative units in Tharaka Nithi County and other parts. And 1 year, more than 1 year down the line, the administrative units have not been operationalized, and the status quo remains. I'm talking about the sublocations and locations. We are requesting that this operation or these units be operationalized, zipewe maafisa na the resources, because this is where the gathering of intelligence starts and rapid response to security issues. The second and last one is about clashes between security officers and the public. In the recent past, from my area, the OCS for Magutuni, a vehicle was burnt down by the members of public who are protesting his toughness in the fight against illicit brew. And we have seen several cases in other places. And I was thinking about the possible solutions for this. And one is that your office, we are requesting that it can be funding regular public barazas between the security personnel and the public to bring closeness.
Okay, thank you.
Huyu amekata kabisa, ajui mimi ni Gen Z. I'm representing the Gen Z, so kindly. So I was finishing up. I was saying, to address the clashes between security officers and the public, solution number one, your office should be funding regular public barazas to create close relationships between public personnel and the public, to ensure that these are people who are coming to help us and we should work close with them. Number two, acha nitetee hao wangwana, najua hatasema hii, the chiefs and assistant chiefs should be allowed to own firearms for personal security. Thank you.
Haya.